Hello and welcome to Chasing Growth. The purpose is to encourage Christian leaders to get better. When you get better, everybody around you get better and the world get a little bit better. And you may be thinking when I say Christian leaders, I'm referring to people who work in churches, ministries, non-profits, something like that. But the reality is that you're a Christian and you have influence, you're a leader. And where the place that you work is the place where God has put you to be an influence, to be a good influence there. So you are a Christian leader as well. So today I want to talk about New Year resolution, and actually I want to call it year resolution. The year is 365 days, and I don't just want to call it new, because I think when we say New Year resolution, we tend to think it's just the beginning of the year, and a lot of people go to the gym 30 days, maybe in February they start going less. By March, they're not going anymore, and nothing changed. So today I want to help you with that. I want to give you some maybe ideas to challenge you, or maybe some examples just to make you think about it. So if you're setting up resolutions, this may help you today, and hopefully you will be listening and maybe adjust some things and get better and keep growing. So the first thing you want to do is to identify what areas. You don't just want to make a resolution for the year and not really have a specific area that you focus into. So, for example, I like to divide everything in 4 areas: physically, mentally, spiritually, and socially. So if I'm gonna do, spiritually, I don't have a resolution this year specifically. I wanna do some things. However, I have been doing several things through the years. It's not necessarily a New Year's resolution. It's just something that I continue doing and just doing a little bit more of it. So it's not like a big change. And again, when we think about New Year resolution, we think about this 360 change, and um, that doesn't really happen that way. So hopefully you're gonna maybe think about this and not go that way and start doing a little different. So identify the area: physically, mentally, spiritually, socially. That's the way I do it. Physically, I wanna do some things, and again, it's not as drastic because I have been working out. I have been eating, not during the holidays, but I was eating healthy. So I have some goals, but I'm not really concerned about the goals, but also about the process. And again, for me, it's not something that I'm going from 0 to 100, so it's not that hard. Mentally, I want to keep learning. I want to keep reading. I want to keep watching different things that make me think. I want to keep doing this. This is very challenging to me. And spiritually and socially, one of the things I want to do socially, I want to get, and this is probably one of those, the 0 to 100 that I haven't done before. Actually, be part of a charity, or be part of serving food to the poor or something like that. It actually can bring the family. So I'm that probably the one that is more challenging to me this year. Physically, like I said, I have been working out already. I have been doing a lot of exercise and all that stuff. Mentally and constantly, every year I'm doing the same thing. So and I'm just gonna do more of that. And spiritually, the same thing. I'm just gonna keep pushing it, but there's not something new. Socially, probably will be the only thing that is new, and I gotta figure out what is the best way to start. So let's say you divide those 4 and you're in the same place. Maybe physically you're doing great, you're just gonna do a little bit more, no big deal. Mentally, same thing, you're reading, you're studying, uh, you just need to do a little bit more. You're gonna maybe discover a new topic that you're gonna be studying. Spiritually, maybe you're involved in your church, you're practicing, you do your you have your time with God and all that stuff. And maybe you just want to do something different that you haven't done. For example, fasting. Maybe you haven't fasted too much and you haven't had those Christian practices, or you haven't meditated too much. So you're just gonna push the envelope and you're gonna start doing a little more into that area. But that doesn't mean that you're going from you were not into church, you were doing nothing. Now you want to be the lead pastor from 0 to 100. So and again, you discover those areas, and then you can put some goals. And I'm gonna talk about what I think you should do to be able to get there. But first thing that you need to know is that the goal is not that important. The goal should be, I don't know how to say, it's not important, but what is important is the step that you take to get there. So the process is more important, more than the goal. So if you start focusing just in the goal, you're gonna be frustrated 3 days in. But it's the process. It's the process you have to focus to be able to get there to this new year resolution and not New Year resolution. So The first thing I will say in this process that you have to know and you have to do is keep it simple. Keep it super simple, easy, clear, nothing complicated. For example, let's say you took the physical aspect and you're trying to lose some weight. You haven't really worked out before. It will be ridiculous that you haven't done anything, and out of the blue you want to run a marathon. It won't happen. You will get hurt. You will destroy your body trying to do that. So what do? Well, start walking, for example. Maybe just one of the daily goals or the thing that you know you have to do, part of that process is that every time you come from work, you will put your shoes on and you're gonna open the door to go outside and you're gonna go outside. That's it. That's part of the process. And then a little bit of time, you're gonna try to start getting out and walk. And maybe walk a quarter of a mile, maybe walk half a mile and a mile. So whatever is the minimum to start, probably is the best. So actually you get to do it. Because if you try to, again, if you I always remember people just going crazy, going to the extreme, and always they get hurt, frustrated, and just they make it worse. Same thing with a diet. If you're gonna start dieting, you cannot go from all the calories and sugar you have been eating, and then out of the blue is like no food at all. You will get hurt, you will get sick, etc. So you don't want to do that. So keep it simple. Start small, a little step. And again, it can be as simple to coming from work, putting your tennis shoes, or maybe instead to wake up at 7 a.m., you wake up at 6:30 a.m. because you move a little bit more. I don't know. Something so simple that you can achieve it every day. And again, those are the little pieces of the process. They need to be so simple. They will take you to that goal. That eventually they're gonna start that one step, take you to another, and eventually you can get to that goal that you have. So the process is the more important thing to do. And if you do it every day, you know about the compound effect, it will start adding up. So at the beginning, maybe it was easy to put your tennis shoes and opening the door, you go outside. Now you took some steps, and now you next day you took the same amount of steps. But then you don't gonna realize you already took so many steps because you did it every day. So that's so important. Keep it simple. Now, keep in mind your identity, who you want to become. So this is challenging and this is very important to think about it, because if you want, for again, I'm going to take the physically because probably is the more common one that people take. Physically, you want to be a sport person, you want to attack your identity that way. So you want to start telling yourself that you're a sport person, that a sport person doesn't eat that a healthy person doesn't do that kind of stuff, that a healthy person go to bed early, that a healthy person drink enough this amount of water. So you start adding things to this process because the identity that you want to become, and you start believing it. The moment that you start saying no to that, it won't happen. It won't. You won't go able. You won't be able to move forward. You want to aim to your identity. Whatever goal you have, the goal is over there. You start aiming to your identity. You want to become a better mother. You start doing things that a good mother will do. Even if you messed up at the beginning, start doing those little things. And like I said, you keep it simple, start aiming to your identity. And there's nothing bad with telling yourself, hey, I'm a good mom, I'm a sport person, I'm a healthy person, or I'm a spiritual person, depending on the goal. And you start telling yourself and doing those things and adding those things. For example, a spiritual person won't watch this type of show. A spiritual person won't watch or won't do this. And start telling yourself those things and start moving toward that new identity. It's very important because that really will make things happen. That will really gonna make things happen. You have seen the people who lose weight and in few months and all that stuff, and then remember that show, the biggest loser, and they will lose all this weight, and then a few years later, when the cameras and all that stuff wasn't around, they will gain the weight again because they were not transforming themselves as a person. They were just doing things that took them to a place, but inside they were the same person. So it's very important that whatever is your New Year resolution or your year resolution, is that you remember that you got part of the process to aim to your identity and change inside. Now, this is very practical, and I think this is awesome. Make signs around you, signs that remind you what to do. Out of sight, out of mind. You want to keep it in front of your face all the time. So you can put signs. There's in the place where I work out, I have a sign. It said no pain, no gain, and you will be amazed. There's so many times that because nobody's watching me, nobody's obligating me to work out. You don't know how many times I want to give up, and just a little sign pushed me to keep going. It's incredible what a sign in front of you will do. So I mean, you make propaganda to yourself. You you think about World War II and all the propaganda and all this stuff. Well, even today with politics, make propaganda to yourself. Put things around, put signs that encourage you to keep going, not give up, and this is what you do, and this is the step, and this is how you can make it happen, and remember to do this and remember to do that. Believe me, making signs around you will help you tremendously. It will make yourself a church. I mean, if you can do that, if you want to go all the way, do it, because it's amazing how science will help you so much. Now, if you're doing a spiritual, challenge this year, like I said, like a goal or anything, what I definitely would recommend is a morning declaration of who you are in Christ. I think to hearing that every day is good for our soul, good for our brain to hear it, to start acting on it. I'm a son of God. I'm a child of God. I'm a chosen one. I'm a royal priest. I'm a city on a hill. I'm the salt of the world. Remind yourself of things will actually move you to act in certain way. Again, identity in your day is very important, especially when you're gonna confront those difficult things at work, in leadership, etc. So I will definitely recommend signs everywhere, reminding you what to do or who you are. And also a morning declaration, I think, is very important. Not only morning, I will say morning declaration and night declaration is the last thing you hear before you go to bed. Instead, to the last thing you hear is a TV show. I'm just saying, I think it's very important. Encourage yourself. Now, if this is very important, give yourself some rewards. If you're achieving something, if you're able to do it 1 week with whatever processes you have, and as small as it is, don't feel bad about that. Your only goal every day is to put your tennis shoes. Your only goal today is to read one page of a book. That's fine. Reward yourself. You set up a schedule to reward yourself every week if you have done it. Every Friday night you will allow yourself to do such a thing because you did it the rest of the week. You will be amazed how much that will help you. Schedule reward time. Don't let it go. Don't fight it, because again, you're creating a habit, and if you have this in you, it will be so good. I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy that reward so much. And finally, um, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Oh, by the way, when you reward yourself, that can be a break. That can be a break that you take from it. Because you need to have a social life too, and you need to go places. Things happen, so having breaks is okay. You have to tell yourself that too. But finally, forgive yourself. I think this is the hardest thing, and people give up because they don't forgive yourself. Let's say you're doing a diet and you're doing great. You do 2 weeks great, and then you go to some friends and they have great food, and you don't want to look like a jerk, so you want to eat, and you end up overeating a little bit, and you feel bad. Because you feel bad, you kind of feel that you're a failure. So what is the point? And you keep eating. No, don't do that. Forgive yourself. It's okay. Nobody have everything figured out. Everybody fails somehow. So it's better that you recognize that you fail, forgive yourself, say, well, I overate, my mistake, and move on. Because if you don't learn to forgive yourself, you're just gonna give up. You're just gonna give up. You're not gonna continue. So I hope this. Thank you for stopping and listening. Thank you for taking the time to watching or listening to this podcast, Chasing Growth. And I hope these tips starting this year will help you, and it will encourage you to keep moving forward. God bless you. Have a great week. Ciao.